10 minutes prior. We have some angry cats. There was a cat that was intruding. There was like a calico cat, and Francesca just took off after. You could hear him in the background. They are having a dispute, a feline dispute. So I'll wait for people to join. It's almost 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 11 o'clock Georgia time. I think they've settled down a little bit. But man, you should have seen Francesca. She was really aggressive. She saw another cat near my house, and she just took off after that cat. The other cat ran away and chased it off the property, or off of the lot that I'm on. So as promised, I am here. Unfortunately, people are missing my show. I'm still trying to find a good time to have the show, so that anyway, if you miss the show, you can always go to the archives, the live stream page, and scroll to the one you'd like to watch. I got my fart gun ready, at the ready. I guess if I need to bring out my harmonica, I'll have to go get it. I don't know why I didn't bring it with me. I was more anxious to grab the flute because I'm trying to learn flute, the recorder. When I learn the recorder, I'll be able to play a lot better. We're back to partly cloudy. Yesterday and this morning, the few days before, it was an overcast. Now we're back to the sunny sky. And you can still hear the cats. The very upset Francesca. She's a badass. She seems to be such a sweet, docile cat. And then as soon as she sees another cat near this area, she just... I didn't know she was such a tough cat. She like rules this area. This is her territory. I can hear a lot of lawnmowers, or a lawnmower that's in the vicinity. So it's 11, getting on to 11 o'clock on the 13th of November, 2023. 2024 is fast approaching. I'm getting out of breath. That kind of sounds like that whistle that Kill Bill whistle. I can almost do it. Flute and fart sounds. That is what I bring. I guess I'll sit here and wait just a little bit longer. It's kind of peaceful. I love sitting out here. It's peaceful. I noticed yesterday when I did my live stream, Francesca was walking behind me. I had the camera pointed kind of like that, and you could see the ground behind me. And I caught Francesca walking this way, and then I didn't know it, but she was kind of pacing back there. She was photobombing. One of these days, I'll gain her trust. I've done it somewhat because she does come up and let me pet her. She does come up and let me stroke her fur. Imperial. That was a butter called Imperial. More lawnmowers. Everyone likes to mow their lawn at different times. You can hear, the yards aren't that big here, so it shouldn't take long. It's now 11 o'clock. 8:28 minutes, 22nd, 8 minutes into the show. And I am playing flute tracks and fart noises. I still have lots of bird seed on this table. Stella ate everything, ate all the the sunflower seeds, and I guess left behind all these smaller seeds. I guess the birds aren't very hungry this time of year. They should be. It's winter, or getting close to winter time. You think the birdies would be out looking for food. So I'll sit and wait patiently, waiting upon requests and questions. And I can ask questions of you. Various kinds of farts. Fart machines don't do farts justice. It's always better to record a fart that happens. It actually happens. In high definition, high digital, high bias fart noises. And then their reactions, their facial expressions after, or the laughter. The after laughter of a very loud, confident fart. I notice sometimes I'm in a good mood, sometimes I'm in a not so good mood, and someone has joined on. Hello, Outtalk, Outwalk. I think I recognize you from before. You may have come on before. So you might be able to stay on for a little while. I know it's a Monday. Iwa, hello Iwa, Iwa. Iwa Yi. Are you, this is, oh, you're on vacation. Okay. I think I remember you. Yes, you were talking about leaving on vacation for like a week or so. How being on vacation for too long a time wasn't wasn't something you'd like to do. So here we are. We got one viewer. We might have more. There's a big speaker man who's been joining me. T. Harrison and X Trigger and Arthur. I'll be looking forward to when we can have. That's right. You got to get back to reality. You can't suspend reality for too long. Then you lose track of what's going on. That's the closest I can come without more practice. The Kill Bill tune. I think I can remember Twilight Zone. That has a hypnotic effect. Look into my eyes. I try to play my little recorder. It sounds like a flute. It sounds like an Asian, Native American style flute. I guess if I hit the wrong notes enough times, I'll learn which notes not to hit. This reminds me of that story about Pai Mei. Dave Carradine was a pretty good storyteller. I liked it when he was telling stories on Kill Bill. When he played the character Bill, he was telling about how I play a harmonica, and I play an unnamed instrument. It's kind of like a Frozen. Your thing is frozen. Let it go, let it go. Quite the musical. They made a sequel to it also. I remember a lot of people were singing. It's unfroze. That's right. For now, if we're talking about the weather, yesterday and the day before were overcast, which is kind of nice. It makes me think of hunting weather. Now we have partly cloudy skies, and it's not too terribly cold. I feel a little bit of cold on my head right now, so I might have to pull up my hood, zip up my jacket, play some fart sounds. Some people, my brother goes hunting. He went hunting with a bow one time, and he was shooting. He shot a deer, and he didn't kill it. He was pretty sad about that. He wounded the deer, and then he had to. It was reminding me of Me, Myself, and Irene when when he shot the cow. He thought that he hit the cow, I think, and then he tried to kill. He's tried so many ways to kill the cow, and it wasn't working. It reminded me of that. And he said it was very, very sad and heartbreaking that he couldn't instantly kill the deer. I've been hunting once with a BB gun. It was I went squirrel hunting. I think the best thing is with a 22. That way you don't demolish the squirrel. But man, it takes a lot of BBs to kill a squirrel. And it was sad. Yeah. What he does is he brings them to a processor. Hello, Speaker Man. Big Speaker Man. You were here the day before yesterday. Yes. So yes, we got almost the whole posse here. The entire group. So yeah, he has a couple. He was trying to make a trophy out of one of the deer heads, and I think he takes it to a processor and makes like ground venison, which is pretty good. He gave us some of it. His son-in-law. Well, yeah, his son had killed a deer and called him, and they processed the deer. He said, "Hey, Dad, I just killed a deer. You want to help me out?" So that's it's. I guess there are people who can grind up the deer, the deer meat to where you can make hamburgers and patties and stuff like that, or even chili. That'd be even nice. Chili seems to be my favorite, with just the right amount of spice, right amount of jalapeno. That's what I had yesterday was chili cheese fries. Those crinkle cut fries. Get them all heated up in the oven, and then there's this. I think it's called Minuteman or something like that. Chili. Buy it in the can and then cook it for like 2 minutes in the microwave. Is it the after effects of chili? I seem to pass gas all night when I have chili. GTA 6. What's GTA 6? Is he? That's his handle. GTA 6. Some people have different handles, and I try to remember them all. Same. Okay. So we are. Oh, okay. It's a game. Okay, so he's talking about how a game is going to be released, or he can't wait for the game to start. Oh, yeah, okay, Grand Theft Auto. More acronyms. I got to get used to these acronyms. Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft. Oh, next year. Okay. A lot of stuff is coming up in 2024. Supposed to be like a Beetlejuice 2. Quite a few other movies. I can't remember all of them. But yeah, next year is going to be a big year for games and movies. I used to be a big moviegoer. Every Friday night, if I couldn't make it Friday night, I'd go Saturday and I'd watch some movie. That was the thing I looked forward to was Friday night after I went to the Chinese restaurant or went somewhere out to eat. Hometown Buffet was another place I liked. Hometown Buffet and JJ North's. There were all you can eat buffets. That's what I always go to right before a movie. That way you don't miss the movie when you go up for snacks. You've already had your food. You're all satiated, ready to watch a whole movie. I am from the U.S. If you're talking to me, because I notice some of the chatters they talk to each other, and I get confused. So so be generous with the likes. The likes are always appreciated. I always like to see likes. Shows people that they like what I'm doing. What state? I am in Georgia, the great state of Georgia, way down south, right next to Florida. I kind of like Florida. I've been to Florida, and yeah, Florida. I always like the beachfront, walking along the beach. They have a lot of nice houses there. Really nice. Oh, that's just what I just call it. Let's be friends. It's kind of like The View or all these other shows that are coming out or that have been out for a while. I just say, let's be friends. Let's be friends. We'll do things together. I don't know. I could probably change the title. I used to call it the Ed Zone. I might go back to calling it the Ed Zone or something like that. I know they're all titled the same. I call it a show, I guess. It's a time where I can meet with people. This is like a virtual meet and greet, a Q&A. People can ask me questions and I can ask questions. And it makes it kind of fun and uplifting, something to look forward to. I guess it does add another dimension to it when you can talk directly to the people. They can talk with me or ask me questions. That's what I think some of the other people who've chatted with me have said the same thing. It's like it makes it better because sometimes you want to ask a question and you can't because you're watching the video and you're not watching it live. I like how it says live from Georgia. It's Let's Be Friends. So we'll have to think of what we can name it. So if you have you done that? Think it's DoorDash and all these other people that bring you food. They drive around with your food in their car, and then they come up to your door, or place of business, or place of work. I used to see that a lot when I was doing fundraising at. Oh, okay. Yes. 1700. That's military time. Oh, so you're like at a chow hall? You got to wait for your food to be prepared by cooks. The chow hall, I guess, is kind of tempting. Everyone's starting to get hungry. Yeah, it's like 11:15 here, 11:16, our time or my time. I just had breakfast, and I guess a couple more hours I'll be eating lunch. It's always fun. There's a lot of cooking shows, quite a few cooking shows. The Food Network. I can't believe there's a Food Network. There's a channel dedicated to people cooking different dishes, different things for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. People sit there and watch people prepare food. I always like watching the Discovery Channel. I think it's a Discovery Channel where they have those mountain men, those people who are living off the grid. That's always fun to watch. These older folks, like in their 50s and 60s, trying to shoot bears and try to shoot anything they're going to eat that night. They get pretty ingenious. So I got 2 likes. Well, good, thank you. So hunting is a good thing for the environment. People don't know that. Sometimes yeah, most of the time, I sometimes skip lunch. When I want to speed up my metabolism, I'll skip lunch. I always have to have breakfast though. It seems like that's my springboard for the day. I must have something, even if it's a bowl of cereal. I have something to eat and energize me, and then the rest of the day, it's always, sometimes it's just waiting in for dinner. Dinner is the last meal. So I'm down to 1. Somebody must have had to leave. This is almost like a class. We take roll call. Everybody gets an acknowledgement when they're present. Most of the time, I think the most I've had is 4 people. I'm looking forward to when I can entertain at least 10 people. You're not the only one watching? Okay. I notice sometimes it goes from 2 to 1. You know what? There's some evidence, I guess, that support the hollow Earth theory, but the flat Earth theory, it's. I wonder about that because when people have taken pictures from the moon, from the perspective of the moon, they see the Earth as a circular. There are two flat Earth theories? Oh, you're saying there are 2. Okay. It's only showing 1, which shows you the accuracy of these counters, which is good. You've shown me evidence that there are, in fact, 2 people. But it's interesting, Galileo Galilei, he proved that the Earth is solar centric, or not the galaxy. I mean the solar system is solar centric. The Earth actually does move around the sun, and I think if the sun is round, it's either flat round. It seems like every heavenly body is round. that you're not. Maybe that's because there have been stories about. There was a story about an airplane that flew into a big hole, and that's how people found out that the Earth was hollow. These are only stories that I've heard. But it's interesting. Everything that everyone thinks is fact. Oh, do I believe in it? I don't know, because we travel for miles and miles in any direction, and the Earth seems flat. So I'd have to say yes and no, because I've been at high altitudes, and you can see the bend of the Earth. You can actually see, like, I was at a mountaintop, and I could look out over the ocean, and you can actually see the Earth, the Earth as it bends. So I'd have to say I believe more in the fact that the Earth is round, because you see the sun every day, and the sun is always traveling across the sky, which means it's going in a trajectory, and the sun going in a trajectory, and then if it rises in the east, if the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, that shows me that the Earth is round, because the Earth is revolving and rotating. So I'd have to believe more in the round Earth, you know, because again, when Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, I think a straw has one long hole. It has the beginning and the ending of the hole. So it's one long hole that goes through the whole straw. But that's just my thoughts. It is funny because you do have two holes, the one at the end and at the beginning, but it's one very long hole. Because an ant can probably crawl from one end of the hole to the other. So that's, I try not to overthink. I'm guilty of overthinking a lot. Same. Kind of like a black hole. You know, black holes, they say, I think Stephen Hawking talked about the other end of a black hole is another universe. There's a chance that there's another universe at the end of a black hole. They do connect, that's right. You have two different holes. But then it's your perspective. If you're looking down there are entrances. That's another perspective. You can enter the straw, one hole, two entrances to the one hole, which makes it one long hole. Because you see more of the hole the further you go into the straw. But yeah, it is two entrances. These are interesting things to talk about. You know, is the Earth in fact flat? If we think the Earth is flat, then how come when we're in an airplane, we can see the bend, or at certain altitudes, I've noticed. When I'm in a high altitude, I can see the bend of the Earth. Which tells me maybe the Earth is round. But then when we look at every heavenly body, it's always round. When you look at Jupiter through a telescope, it's round. And when you look at the moon through a telescope, it's round. So why would the Earth not be round? Because it's suspended in the vacuum called space. And gravity is what we rely on to keep us in the orbit around the sun. And then the moon relies on our orbit to keep it from just floating out into space, like a comet or a meteor. I mean, like a comet or a asteroid. An asteroid is made of metals, and a comet is basically a ball of ice. I think that's the way I understand it. But yes, I enjoy science. Everyone's interpretation of how things work, or what's reality. reality seems to be pliable, or not pliable, but relative, because time is always different depending on where you are. Because, like, also Einstein discovered that, let's see, I'd say Howard the Duck is one of my favorite movies. They use stop motion. Leah Thompson was in that movie. She's the girl in Back to the Future, the one who played the mother. And yeah, because a lot of the movies that get bad press, or a lot of movies that are guilty of being like flops. Sometimes I like them. Oh yeah, Howard the Duck was a movie that was made back in the '80s about an alien that was mostly duck. Yeah, it's a comedy. It's more sci-fi than comedy. Like Space Truckers, that's another one. I'm trying to remember the guy's name in Space Trucker. He was also in Waterworld. There's quite a few movies that people miss because of what generation they're in. There's a lot of movies that were made back in the '80s and '90s, and then as soon as the turn of the century, another person joined. Cool. I'm always happy to hear. Joined so we got 3 people today, or maybe another person joined as a subscriber, or as they like to say, subs. I got some subs. Sometimes I get alerts when someone subscribes. I get alerts, and sometimes I don't get alerts. I wonder what the difference is. I think, okay. So we will see. I notice some people don't always acknowledge that they're here. They do for a little while. They don't chat. So maybe they'll just leave a like. Leave those likes. Like emails. That's right. I like emails because they seem to be, you can leave your phone number, you can leave your address, email, and only the person getting the email will see it. I was thinking about doing auctions. I want to do auctions, and when someone wins the auction, they can pay me and then email me their address, and I can send the the item that they won, to their address, and that's how I can raise some money, raise a little funds. I have a lot of things that I could probably acquire that I can sell, or not sell. I can put them as auction. Starting this auction at $20, and then people can bid up from the $20. I was entertaining that thought. Maybe I'll be the first YouTuber to do auctions. Oh shit, I couldn't read all that. It fades before I can finish. It's kind of like when somebody leaves you a message, you have to play the message over and over again until you get the whole phone number, because they read off the phone number so fast. It's like, yeah, you know the phone number, but I don't know the phone number. So say the phone number slowly so I can write it down. I've noticed that I have to keep playing back the message until I get the whole phone number. And then I can finally call them. Time. That's why I like emails, because you can email me a phone number and I can just remember it. Oh, yeah. So I'm ahead of my time, possibly? Oh, yeah. I've heard that um, we are seeing, we register things 30 seconds after we see them. So whatever we see, we're seeing it 30 seconds after whatever. I think, yeah, there's a 30-second delay. Cool, we got more people joining. So I guess now is a good time. 3 people, all right. Which makes it worth our while. So, yeah, I'm seeing 3 people also. And then it bumped down to 2. So I guess now is a good time. 11 o'clock is a good time to have this live stream. I was trying to figure out when is a good time to have a live stream. But I notice everyone's on a different time schedule. And when you're on a different time schedule, it makes it hard to catch. So now we're down to 0. Maybe I've lost contact. Like Major Tom, you know. This is ground control to Major Tom. I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. I guess I've lost contact. Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, 3 people. Yeah. It's showing 0 up there for some reason. I guess there's a timer. I don't know. I've learned not to trust that. Scoreboard. I've noticed the likes aren't always the same. Like, they left. How could they? I guess it's a matter of what people find entertaining. Because I notice people just check in to see if something is cool. I like astronomy. I like how the fact that they say that the universe is endless, or we only know the speed of light as far as the universe, how to measure. Oh, update. Okay, I see. So I'm not alone. They got to update. I guess whenever somebody joins on, it has to update. So that's what I'll do is I'll just ignore that scoreboard. I call it the scoreboard. But then again, who's really keeping score? I noticed that, yeah, maybe today, because whatever time zone you're in might be a couple of hours ahead. So here it's like 11:35. So it might be like 4 or 5 hour difference. So you might be earlier or later. I think we're on the latest side because we're on the eastern side. And every time zone after that is behind this time. Yeah, astronomy is pretty fascinating. I know, yeah, that's a true teller. Because it's always changing. Whenever somebody else watches the video. So it's 1:34 or 16:34. No, wait a minute. 4 o'clock. 13, 14, 15, 16. So you're 4 o'clock. I have to translate it into after meridian, prime meridian, AM and PM. We have daylight savings time, which is even worse. Because just recently we had to go back to standard time. That's right. My brother taught me that. You count forward from 1 o'clock. Because I think 12 o'clock is 0 hour. So 4 o'clock is tea time. If I'm not mistaken. I was used to hear that tea time was 4 o'clock. Oh, yeah? I was like hearing where people are from, you know, because I've noticed when you look at your analytics or whatever it's called, there it tells you in what country your video was seen. Yeah. 0 hour is like 12 o'clock at night, and then 12 o'clock in the afternoon. No, 12 o'clock noon is 12 o'clock. 0 hour Oh, it's midnight. Oh, I had it backwards. Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah. 0 hour is midnight. 2 minutes to midnight. The hands that threaten doom. 2 minutes to midnight. I like that song. Iron Maiden. My mother just came back. She was helping somebody do a transport. So at 1 o'clock, no, 1:30, I have to go. So we got a while to go. Hi.
Gonna go eat some lunch.
2 minutes to midnight. I think it might be, but it's a also 12 minutes to midnight. And then there's that Orwellian book, 411 or something like that, Fahrenheit 4, something like that. I think it was Orwell, George Orwell. 1984 was an Orwell. They're saying how accurate that is. A lot of people compare this age to that book that was, 1984. And then Prince had that song 1999. That song was made before 1999. Tonight we're going to party like it's 1999. The sky was all purple. There were people running everywhere. And yeah, 2000 party over, oops, out of time. And it was all about nuclear war, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's an interesting how life imitates art. I was talking about that before. A lot of things that, like Edgar Allan Poe, he wrote a book about some people who were on a ship. I don't know that either. Yeah, isn't that weird? I always get notifications. I think what it is the bell icon. When people hit the bell icon, they get notifications. If you're just a subscriber, I don't think you get notifications unless you hit the bell icon. I noticed Callan for Slap Ham, he talks about hitting the bell icon. That way you get alerts. Maybe that's what I should say in some of my shorts, Hey, hit the bell icon. Like, share, and subscribe. You got to remind people. Like, share, subscribe. It's almost like going to the gym. Like, share, subscribe. Squat and thrust. Squat and thrust. Like, share, subscribe. Oh my. Because the likes and the sharing I really like, because if somebody likes your video so much that they share it, then it gets out there. It gets out there to a lot more people. Also, they have a feature where people can remix your video. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'm still learning how YouTube works. Sometimes you just got to catch it. That's why I'm trying to make it at the same time every time, so that people know, oh, it's 4 o'clock, or it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to see if Ed's on, or I'm going to see. I know Melly. There's a woman named Melly, and she's a guitarist. Yeah, don't forget to hit the bell. That should be part of the package, I think. If you subscribe, you should get automatic. I don't even worry about those. I don't know why they say message held for review. I have to review that message. That just takes up time. That's inconvenient for everyone who's watching. I think the reason why they do military time, somebody missed a train. I remember the story behind military time. Somebody missed a train because they went from 12 o'clock, no, from 1 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Oh, it's a setting. Okay. More things to crowd your head space. I was trying not to crowd my head space. I've got to remember appointments. I've got to remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. I can't be I can't be worried about all these other things that go on. What gets me is when doctors always ask, "When's the last time you had a bowel movement?" Whenever I'm in the hospital, the nurses always come in and say, "Have you had a bowel movement? When's the last time you had a bowel movement?" And then you got to stop and think, when was the last time? I always like it when they come in a few minutes. Yeah, Google or YouTube. Google seems to be like the master brain. It's kind of like a universal consciousness. Something will come up. I like the microphone feature. My brother started using it, and you tap on the microphone, and then you can tell Google what you want rather than having to type it into the browser, which is really convenient. I like that. I like finding out when someone's birthday is, what horoscope they are. It's amazing how many people share my horoscope. A lot of entertainers that I really like. Yeah, it is interesting to know how many people are merged. Yeah, like like McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and A&W Root Beer. I think all those franchises they're somehow linked to each other. So I remember Kentucky Fried Chicken being linked to this in the same building. You know, you go to one building, one part of this KFC. Oh, it is. Yeah. Google is quite a powerhouse. They hold all our passwords. I think it's hard to garner information nowadays. It's so easy to get someone's birthday. All you have to do is hang around them long enough, and you'll hear their birthday or the last four of their social security number. Here in the U.S., we have most things are, yeah. Is anything really secret anymore? All people have to do is type in your name and they know everything about you. Nothing secret or sacred. So I guess the cat fight has stopped. When I first came out here, Francesca, she's a black cat that shows up, kind of. Because if you watch the video before this one, Francesca is the black cat that comes around here. Has beautiful gold-colored eyes. She's so nice and docile, and then when she sees another cat in the yard, she just goes after it. Oh, cool. We will see if we can all chat. This is a virtual chat room. We're now in virtual reality. Somebody else is mowing their lawn again. Today is Monday. Everyone should be at work right now. It's almost 12 o'clock. Boy, they love those lawnmowers. Oh no, one of them is a tractor. There's somebody who comes by on a tractor. We'll wait till the tractor passes. It's always so peaceful until that tractor comes by. It's a tractor pulling a trailer, and the trailer is full of all this equipment that's used for landscaping, and it's loud and obnoxious. But that's the no. This is a smaller tractor. You do? I think we need more farms. We need a lot more farming because we here in my area, farms are always. I think that's the best use of land is to farm, to have livestock and farm. No matter what economy, no matter what the economy is doing, you can always grow food. You can always have livestock. It doesn't matter if we're in a recession. Doesn't matter if we're having a boom. There's always farming. There's chickens, there's cows, there's sheep, there's goats, there's ostriches in some cases, and and it's like, yeah, you can always rely on nature. Nature is the best economy, I think. Nature isn't greedy. Nature is competitive, though. You got to compete with the coyotes and the foxes and the rats and the rabbits. Anything that will eat your life or that will eat your vegetables. That's where rifles come in handy. I think I always think of the bear. It's a toss-up between the bear and the eagle. Eagles are pretty powerful. I think there's the bald eagle, the golden eagle. I've seen an eagle. Eagles are a lot bigger than you think they are. They are very large. They have very powerful talons. But bears can be friendly, but they can also eat you. I've had people who mistake. I've seen when people mistake friends or mistake bears for being friendly, and they wind up being eaten by the bear. Bears and lions. I think the eagle. It's a close matchup between a bear and an eagle. Oh, cool. Hawks. We see hawks around here. I've seen hawks. They're like red-tailed hawks. You always hear them first. Yeah, hawks and falcons. They used to use. I think they still use hawk or falcons for hunting. They just put the falcon on their arm, and the falcon goes out and grabs a creature. Yeah, it was a spontaneous. That's kind of hard when you buy things spontaneously. Rabbits, I think rabbits around Easter time, or around Easter, people buy rabbits and then they don't realize there's a lot that goes into taking care of a rabbit. So that poor rabbit sometimes suffers. It's like, yeah, look into your pet when you buy a creature. You got to think you got to feed it, you got to clean up after it, you got to make sure it's got all its shots. I noticed that about my mother. She has her dog, and once a year she has to get all the shots updated. The groomer won't even groom the dog if it's not updated with the shots and everything. So it's almost 12 o'clock. So 12 o'clock will be, I guess around 4 o'clock I could do this again. I'm going to take my mother to her appointment. She has a foot doctor appointment. And then after that's over, I can come back to doing the live stream. And then tomorrow, today's the 13th. Tomorrow will be an easy day. I won't have much to do tomorrow. I can plan around tomorrow. I could plan to do nothing tomorrow. You know what? My brother also, I think he lives next to a huge field. and there's an airport not too far, and he knows the guy who flies the airplane. It gets very cold where my brother is. Every once in a while, there's a tornado in his area. Because in Taylorsville, right now I'm trying to do entertainment. I'm trying to reach out to people of YouTube. Because right now I've just been a full-time YouTuber. Because I've got to keep coming up with more content. I've noticed my shorts have a shelf life. I get like 1,000, no, I'll get around 2,000 hits or 2,000 views, and then I have to keep making more shorts because they stop. You know, people stop watching them, so I have to keep making new shorts. And I like this because it'll be like an advertising platform. I can let people know about things I have going on. But right now I have some other stuff going on for the long term. I guess it takes a long time to build up a lot of uh, your fan base, because your fan base, all your subscribers. Yeah, I noticed YouTube is kind of competing with TikTok. They're encouraging YouTubers to make shorts because shorts are a lot like TikTok. Because right now I'm just trying to learn all the ins and outs of YouTube. Because sometimes people branch off. You know, they start off as a YouTuber, and then they start getting into other kinds of media, and it's just discovery. It's all been discovery for the past few years, learning what works and what doesn't work. And I notice the algorithms don't help you much either. The algorithms, you know, you're lucky if you get a few views, 1,000 views or more. Me too. I was talking about eagles earlier. The golden eagle and the bald eagle. There's also very large eagles. They hunt goats, mountain goats. I've seen video of eagles knocking mountain goats off the side of the hill or off the side of the mountain. And then when the goat falls and hits the bottom, they fly down there and eat. They also carry away cats. There's video of eagles carrying away cats. And small children, or they try to carry away small children. So watch your cats. It's amazing how big eagles are. I remember one time at Six Flags, the story was a hunter shot. Also, I do too. Cats and dogs could be good companions. Cats, dogs, and I also had a bird once. It was a cockatiel, a smaller version of the cockatoo. They're real pretty. Mine was like a yellow cockatiel. Pretty bird, pretty bird. There goes that trailer again. It looks like a riding lawnmower. The guy just loves this street. He likes to go up and down this street in his little tractor. I guess he's the groundskeeper of the property. And he does a lot of the work here as far as the upkeep. And that's how he transports all of his equipment. He has a trailer. We see him all over the place. He's either blowing down all the leaves or blowing all the leaves or doing some edging or picking up trash. I remember that was my job a while back. I was a groundskeeper. I think it's getting peaceful again. I wonder if our black cat's going to photobomb us again. We get that every so often. It's a feral cat, but I'm pretty sure somebody owned that cat at one time. I'm waiting for that tractor. That tractor is still making noise. I don't know why it bothers me so much. I think it's competing. I have to compete with the tractor. I have to raise my voice. So it's getting to be 12 o'clock. I'll have to eat my afternoon or noon or lunchtime. Okay, so now would be a good time. Yeah, I've got to go too. So that's what I'll do. Come back maybe at 4 o'clock. And then, well, I'm glad you can all join me. Nobody missed me today. So we'll get back to this. We'll try to think up more questions to ask. Until then, we will end this episode.